Kicking off week 4 of the NFL season with our Thursday Night Football preview. This week pits the Seattle Seahawks at the Arizona Cardinals. Plenty to talk about in this one, including the best bets for this game, the James Conner injury, the Seahawks' huge win in week 3, maybe Marvin Harrison Jr. sort of sucks, and much, much more. Welcome to the channel. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We break down all the primetime games with previews and picks for each of them each week throughout the NFL season. I am Ninja. Joining me today is Nick Holz. And Nick, let me start with this. Do the Arizona Cardinals have a Marvin Harrison Jr. problem? Like, this guy has already had some big-time drops, not the least of which happened on Sunday against the Niners, but he just hasn't quite blossomed into the receiver we all thought he was going to be. Or maybe it's a Drew Pensing problem, because this guy, in my opinion, might be one of the worst offensive coordinators in the league. What are your thoughts here?
Well, I mean, not everybody can be Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, right? And I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is getting used to the reality that for the first time in his life, he's not the very best athlete on the field. So, I mean, there's a lot of blame to go around. Playing with a quarterback like Kyler Murray, who loves to get outside of the pocket, doesn't exactly play on time at his best even, and isn't the most accurate, can be tough on a young receiver as well. I like some of Pensing's concepts. I like what he's done with the running game. Of course, they lost their run game coordinator to Dallas, and that's, I think, a big reason for their rushing success this season. But I think a lot of what Pensing puts out there, concept-wise, is great. Unfortunately, it just hasn't come together for the Cardinals, and I think maybe the injuries up front on the offensive line have a little bit to do with that as well.
Let's dig into, obviously, some of the worst news coming out of Arizona. Like, what does the loss of an elite running back like James Conner mean to this Cardinals team? Does that injury basically doom their entire season now?
Well, it might doom a lot of fantasy football seasons out there, including my own. I mean, James Conner, obviously a tank of a 3-down back, a guy that always seems to fall forward and pick up extra yards, does a lot in pass protection, and really helps out Kyler Murray in the backfield as well. So I think a massive, massive loss for Arizona. He was huge down the stretch last season. And I think Conner being out, even though they have Trey Benson to come in, a very different back, not a back that'll play through contact as much, a little bit more explosive though. So excited to see what they can do, but it's going to be a very different looking Cardinals offense moving forward here.
So talk to me about that real quick here. This injury, like you said, sort of opens the door now for a Trey Benson. Do you see this guy having any sort of level of success, and should it be a guy that we target maybe in running back props down the road here?
Well, I don't know if this week is the time to do that. I mean, like I said earlier, the Cardinals have Paris Johnson Jr. is going to be questionable. They're starting left tackle. They're starting left guard as well. Will Hernandez, same thing, banged up. And now you've got a matchup with a NFC West opponent in the Seahawks, who have an excellent front seven. May not be the time to target Trey Benson yet. I'm sure he'll have a breakout game down the road. But for me, with so much hype around Benson this week as the top fantasy pickup, I'm fading him on Thursday night.
So let's look at Seattle real quick. They're 2-1. They lost to the Niners week 1, back-to-back double-digit wins. They're coming off the blowout win over New Orleans. Nobody statistically really had a game that really jumps off the page in that one. Did you learn anything about Seattle? Like, who to you are the Seahawks coming into week 4?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Seahawks are always going to go as far as their defense takes them. They've got a couple of injuries on the back end there, and Devin Witherspoon being out, Nick Emanuri, one of their draft picks, out, Julian Love as well. But this is a Seahawks defense under Mike McDonald that has playmakers on all 3 levels. Their front seven, I think, one of the best and most underrated in the NFL. And moving forward here, a team that can make some noise, I think, as an underdog, obviously. Kenneth Walker playing very good football, and Sam Darnold playing mistake-free football for the most part as well. So as long as they can keep the offense churning, I think the defense keeps them in most football games. And the Seahawks are a team that I'm targeting down the stretch for sure as an underdog.
And I think a testament to their week 3 win over the Saints was just how good they were on offense, on defense, and on special teams. A real complete performance by Seattle in week 3. So you mentioned the fact that you were going to be betting or looking at betting the Seahawks, especially down the stretch. Are you willing, Nick, to dabble in the Seahawks futures market here, especially to win the NFC West, which as we sit here today, plus 650 to win the division at DraftKings, Nick?
Yeah, and definitely shop around at those odds. I found it at plus 700 over at FanDuel, but I like the Seahawks at those odds. Why not? I mean, we've seen the San Francisco 49ers be decimated by injuries. We've seen the Los Angeles Rams show some warts now this past week. And of course, the Arizona Cardinals, far from a perfect football team. So at plus 700, I mean, don't blow your whole bankroll, but it's definitely worth a sprinkle.
Let me get your thoughts on this stat real quick here. So, Nick, the Cardinals have allowed 16 receptions per game to wide receivers this season. So far, small sample size, I know, but it's among the worst in the entire NFL. So should we be looking at anything and everything Jackson Smith and Jigba related for this football game?
Well, Jackson Smith and Jigba's props are probably going to be pretty juice heading into Thursday night, especially if Cardinals quarterback Will Johnson remains out with a hurt groin. He missed week 3, and that ultimately hurt the Cardinals against the 49ers passing attack. But one guy I'm taking a look for is Torrey Horton, the rookie out of Colorado State. If you watch Colorado football, you remember he starred in that game against Deion Sanders and Travis Hunter a couple of years ago, making some big catches in that overtime loss. But Torrey Horton burst onto the scene for the Seahawks this season, caught a beautiful touchdown pass last week, and seems to be a big part of the Seahawks offense. They even released Marquez Valdez-Scantling as a result of Horton's breakout in camp. So I like Torrey Horton on Thursday night.
We'll get Nick's pick here in a second. But folks, if you are looking to place a bet for Seahawks Cardinals, then look no further than DraftKings. New customers to DraftKings can get a deposit bonus of up to $1,000. This is for new customers only. So I'll drop a link down below in the description. You guys go sign up and make your first deposit where you can get a 20% bonus on that deposit of up to $1,000. All right, Nick. Cardinals go into this one down their best offensive player, and after a very tough loss to the 49ers, Seahawks, as we've talked about, go into this one awful blowout win, and basically a game where they were able to rest most of their starters by the time the fourth quarter rolled around. What are you looking at betting for this one here, Nick?
Yeah, if you look at the Seahawks versus Cardinals betting trends, you'll see that Seattle's been very, very successful on the road in Arizona, going 8-1-1 straight up and 6-3-1 against the spread in their last 10 meetings on the road against the Cardinals. But both teams are top 10 in pass rush win rate heading into week 4. Both teams have fantastic front sevens. We saw Cardinals ageless wonder defensive lineman Calais Campbell get after the quarterback a whole lot on Sunday against the 49ers. So I think that continues into week 4. You know, obviously Mike McDonald and Jonathan Gannon, both very defensive and conservative coaches. I think that holds true on Thursday night. So I'm rolling with the under 43.5. But also keep an eye out for those Trey Benson and Torrey Horton props. I'm fading Benson and going to be betting the over on the Horton props for sure.